What's going on? So I go back 40 years ago and I want to just talk about it because it's coming up soon, but I thought I'd go into it. One of the biggest musical moments was when Prince and the Revolution's Purple Rain, when Prince dropped When Doves Cry. Oh, I remember that particular time. Now, Michael Mania was tearing up everything, and rightfully so. The most dominant artist of my lifetime. And Bruce Springsteen hit his peak commercial wise. And Madonna was star was buying, blowing up, and Cyndi Lauper's thing was coming along. You still had Rick James coming along, still doing his thing. Wham was huge. Even before you go, all that. Phil Collins was hot. Kid Crew and the Coconuts was happening. Hip hop, Run DMC was big. Julio Iglesias was big. Steve Wonder still had a moment. Still was bringing things. He was still coming. There was still people there doing their thing. However, Prince came along with that. He hit his commercial zenith with that. Now, you can debate. I'd say 1999 album, Sign of the Times album was better, but Purple Rain was the one that made him iconic, made him a household name. But it was this song with no bass in it, with that cold drum line, with just his voice and the emotions expressed. The When Doves Cry. You know, maybe you're just like your mother, maybe you're just like your father, which became a unison, almost became like a chant. As you know, many people have covered it, including Genuine, with not that memorable results. But the feeling of it and the emotion of it lingered and stayed. It's one of those songs you don't forget because it was so haunting, so riveting, so strong, so gut wrenching, and the programmed drum machine and his voice were bare and naked. It's what I always say about Prince. When you do simplicity and you strip it down, that's where his greatness really thrived. You know, just the bare bones of it. The keyboard synthesized part, which was like a classical run that he did near solo in, was on point too. But his chorus, his vocals, the feeling, that honesty. And you see his influence on a lot of people. I mean, obviously, you hear what Pharrell and the Neptunes did with the skeleton tracks. And that was a nod to Prince. Prince made that really happen. Before he ended up becoming cluttered and heavy handed, that's why a lot of the stuff he did from the 90s onward, I wasn't really feeling. But the stripped down, bare basic, bare bones essentials. So when I think back to When Doves Cry, how raw that sounded on the radio, but how fresh it was just like an earthquake that just shook. And you knew that he meant business. And he came correct with a classic that still stands the test of time. Because I will say this, I would be more inclined to bump Doves Cry right now than I listen to Purple Rain, the song. And I wasn't crazy about the soundtrack. I love Baby, I'm a Star till this day. It fit the movie in spots. There's things that I liked and what have you, but When Doves Cry still's got that kind of pulsating feel that it didn't sound like anything at that time. It's still one of those songs that you won't ever get out your mind. And it showed you an artist that was making a statement. And that's one of the things that man did. That's what's a lost art a lot of times with artists today. If you're going to come out with an album or a song, nowadays you see what Beyonce come out with, and these people got all this heaviness and all that. Usher's album had a nod to Prince on it, but it's like, how do you connect those dots? And when you making a statement, that's what's missed today in music. People aren't making a statement. They're putting out records and they're hoping that they get these token awards, or they're hoping that they get, something that's formula driven or proven, but they're not making statements. That's what that man did with When Doves Cry. If you ain't heard it, listen to it live on. Now, it wasn't that stage version. Some of my I can go, it's hit and miss for me with how he did it live. But studio wise, he nailed that mother. He nailed it. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments. And I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share if you like. I'm on. Peace.